Can you explain the curse on Jeconiah and how that doesn't disqualify the bloodline of the Messiah?
Oh, that's a cool one.
Yeah. So, just for people that don't know,
Okay.
obviously, when you start in Genesis, a lot of people go like, well, what happened to so-and-so and this and this? It's actually the bloodline of the Messiah that you're tracking, not the genealogy of the world as you're going through Genesis.
Right.
But specifically, there was an incident that happened that thwarted or cursed that line. How did they get back?
Yeah. Let me look at this whole thing. Gosh, I can't remember where the curse is. It's in Jeremiah. Let's do this. Got to look it up real quick, you guys. Usually I have it in my Bible.
Jeremiah 22, 28.
Yep. Did you beat me?
I cheated, but I'm not going to tell you how I did it.
How did you cheat? Come on, tell me. This is what it says. Is this man Coniah a despised, broken idol? That's Jeconiah that's being spoken about. A vessel in which is no pleasure. Why are they cast out, he and his descendants, and cast into a land which do not know? O earth, 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 hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord, write this man down as childless, a man who shall not prosper in his days, for none of his descendants shall prosper, sitting on the throne of David and ruling anymore in Judah. That's a huge passage. It's a blood curse on the line of Jeconiah. Jeconiah was the last king of Judah before they went into captivity. And when that took place, basically you have a situation where any of the descendants of Jeconiah cannot rule on the throne of David. And so one of the problems with that is that Jesus later on comes from that lineage. And it's actually in Matthew chapter 1, you have the genealogy of Christ there, and it's the genealogy that goes all the way from Abraham up to Joseph, right? And so there's a curse on the bloodline of Joseph specifically. And the way that you get past that is with the virgin birth. And so in Luke chapter 3, you have what is the genealogy of Mary. And it'll say Joseph in that passage, but from the time of David all the way up until the time of the coming of Jesus, you have a distinction in the two genealogies. In Matthew's gospel, it goes from David to Solomon. In Luke's gospel, it goes from David to Nathan, another one of the sons of David, actually named after the prophet Nathan that came in and told David, "You're the man," which tells you huge volumes about who David is, that he would name his son after a guy who nailed him. In any case, you have two different genealogies there, and one of the things that would happen is if you had an only child, a daughter who was an only child, you would adopt the husband of that daughter. That's most likely what's going on in the book of Luke. And so in Matthew's gospel, you have Joseph's genealogy. In Luke's gospel, you have Mary's genealogy. In Jewish thinking, the spirit comes from the father, the body comes from the mother in Jewish thinking. The father of Jesus was not actually Joseph. It was God the Father. And so that's a cool thing. Mary obviously being his mother. So in the flesh, Jesus gains the right to the throne of David by being one of the descendants of David, but not through Solomon. And so he is actually of the lineage of David in Luke's gospel. In Matthew's gospel, what you have is the lineage that has the right to the throne. Specifically, this is the lineage of the kings of Israel when you get after David in Matthew's gospel. And even though Jeconiah has been cursed, each one of the descendants of Jeconiah after that were in that lineage of David, and that's where the Messiah was supposed to come from. And so Jesus has the right to the throne legally through Matthew's gospel, and he's got the right to the throne of David, the lineage of David, physically through Luke's gospel. So
It's awesome.
yeah, which lets you know that the virgin birth had to be a real deal. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Joseph is not the father of Jesus in the physical sense.